Welcome to our live edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studios. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. Chip Hayner's here. Smoking Jim Frazier's eating, so yeah, he's here. He can talk. And then I got a special guest right behind my shoulder. Smile for the camera. This is Dave Cable's son, Sam Cable. Can you say hello?
Hello.
Thank you. And we start the show with what's on your mind, but first I want to thank everybody for watching our show on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park, for Verizon 32 in Bethel Park, and all the way from Nemacolin to Cranberry, Wexford, and all points in between. We appreciate you watching and liking our page. We have 6,871 likes on Facebook. Thank you for that. This old dog learned a few new tricks. If you haven't liked Pittsburgh Sportsline, please like it now. We appreciate it. And we have a sponsor for our show, Olive Oil's Pizzeria. I'm going to get into that right now. Olive Oil's Pizzeria at Hillcrest Shopping Center, 5 minutes from the studio. They sponsor our show with an XL pizza and a steak hoagie. Frank Fanera is the owner, and we appreciate him sponsoring What's on Your Mind. Next up, we have the Bethel Park Historical Society. They're at 2600 South Park Road, and they do a great job, have different activities there, had different Christmas events and Santa Claus there. So check out their website for what events they have coming up next, and they cater to a lot of business networking things there. And they got great historical stuff in this 1905 building. And they have one of my favorite tea shops in Pittsburgh, Reginald's Coffee. And they give me my loose leaf green tea every week or two. Get a nice pot of that green tea. Matt and Julie are great owners. And it's a cool place. If you like coffee, they roast it there. Different brands from all over the world. And they got a lot of great things there. They even have little donut snacks and other treats. So Smoking Jim, you could go in there and sip a cup of tea with me and do that.
You know, you mentioned the word snacks. That's
well,
his eyes perked up.
Next up is Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. Poor Joey died before his 10th birthday with the dreaded brain cancer disease, DIPG. And the family's donated well over $130,000 to doctors to find a cure. They help other people that have children with DIPG and families. So they're just great. They do different great events throughout the year. And we film some shows with them, so stay tuned to that. You can donate as little as $1, donate your time, help them out. They're just great people, and they suffered 2 children dying, so it's just terrible. But they try to overcome that with doing good deeds in the neighborhood. Next up, Bethel Park Community Foundation, bpcf.org. They have money for you, not Smoking Jim or Chip. They don't have any groups here in Bethel Park. This is from $100 to $5,000. They've donated over $970,000 over 25 years. So get a hold of them. They have money for you, bpcf.org. Tell them Al Levine, the talking machine, sent you there. I'm a trustee on the board. You're more than welcome to plead your case on why you want to help your own community, Bethel Park. Next up, Dave Cable. Even though he's here, I'll still stay with my usual speech. Dave Cable likes to make a little fun out of me with Uncle Sam. He put my face in there very nice. You just tell them Uncle Al, the talking machine, sent you and wants you for BPTV. You can call 412-831-3304. We got Jay doing audio and video back there. Dave Cable's on camera right now. How about this picture of my face on Uncle Sam because of Dave Cable? I'm proud that he does stuff like that. Now we're going to get on with the show. We have a sponsor for What's on Your Mind, and this is Skeets Lewandowski of Skeets Service Station. He works on anything and everything that runs on gas. He has a forge where he makes hooks for Smoking Jim, and always look at the wear that he puts on tonight. He doesn't believe in cold weather, but he's dressed for it because somehow he's an honest man. And I'm not picking on him. I'm just telling the truth because I've witnessed it for 8 years now. And thanks again for watching us for 8 years. But Skeets Service Station's a red, white, and blue station. A little less than 7 miles from the BPTV studios. And like I said, they even have a forge. They have a auto drive shaft company. They make drive shafts for cars, trucks, and everything, and they do anything on gas from trucks, cars, boats, weed whackers, lawn mowers, you name it, they fix it. You can call them at, what is this, 724-348-4715. Tell them Al Levine, the talking machine, wants you to get your car or truck worked on, and he'll do a good job. Now we start with what's on your mind, Smoking Jim Frazier.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green, you got to see Levine. My old high school quarterback option days.
What year was that? He
But,
never
hey,
answers.
Hey, Lord, you
1978.
deserve credit. How about Mike McCarthy? Congratulations going to the Dallas Cowboys. I felt like he should have went to the Cleveland Browns because he always beats Mike Tomlin. But I tell you what, this is the happiest day of my life. Got this in the mail straight from Butler. Now that they gave up football, and Butler leaving the WPIL because they're not competitive anymore. But how about everybody knows that TJ Watt is my second favorite pro athlete, but my favorite pro athlete is IB.
Don't move that so much. Hold it steady so they can see.
IFBB
Hold it
pro
steady.
Teresa. Outstanding. I tell you what, I took
Tell
some
her-
time.
Say her name.
Teresa.
Thank
and
you.
I took some time today and went through each page of this calendar a couple of
Why
times.
is it all
man.
stuck together there?
But oh wow, she also sent me a bonus picture. Man, I got to get that out. How about this autographed bonus picture? Ain't that nice? All that muscle on the beach. I tell you what a great gift I received today in the mail from Butler. But when I seen Butler, I thought it was hate mail. But
I'm surprised you opened it up.
what's on my mind? Oh, I forgot to see this House of Soul. Some good ribs there, brother.
What do you know about ribs?
But what's on my mind is, hey, listen, I hate all kind of discrimination. And reverse discrimination is running wild in the National Football League. Here are 10 white former NFL players that will never get into the Hall of Fame because they were white. If they were black, they'd already be in. How about Andy Russell, 10D?
You were too young to see him play.
How about 10C, Matt Millen?
That means we got 12. That means we got 12 on the list.
How about 10B, Jimmy Haslett deserves to be in? How about number 10? How can Roman Gabriel not be in the Hall of Fame? How about number 9B, Steve Corson? How about number 9, Joe Theismann? You can't win the Heisman without Theismann.
He never won it either.
How about number 8,
Why he should be in?
Chuck Cecil? Should be in the Hall of Fame. How about number 7, former left tackle of the Pittsburgh Steelers, John Cowboy Kolb? You got to agree he should be in there.
He lost too much weight after he retired.
He is a victim of the success of the rest of that team. So many members of that team from the 70s are in the Hall of Fame. I don't think they're going to
That's a
elect
little
them.
white excuse.
I'm just saying.
Come on, that don't even make sense,
Donnie
man.
Shell belongs
If you
in,
deserve
Hold
to
it.
be in,
Time
if you
out.
deserve to be in.
Donnie Shell
disclaimer. If Smoking Jim doesn't bring the race card up within the first 5 minutes of the show, it's not a Pittsburgh Sportsline show.
Can you believe this excuse from here?
It's legit.
All right. Here.
Hold it. I got one that you're not going to even mention
Who?
because of race.
Who?
Donnie Shell should have been in there 15 years ago.
I agree with that.
There you
I
go.
agree with that. But here's another one that should be in. Never get in because he's white. Mark Gastineau. Clearly should be in the Hall of Fame. Set the sack record 1 year. Was a beast. He
He's a
couldn't be
one-year
blocked.
wonder. That doesn't. That's
He
the
had
Hall
a
of Fame.
sack dance. He was great. He was most. He had over 100 career sacks.
The name of the game is football.
How about the bullneck? Zach Thomas should be in the Hall of Fame. How about my man, one of my favorite all-time linebackers, Bill Romanowski, is not in the Hall of Fame. How about Lyle Elzado, 113 sacks, most feared man in the
Hold
National
it. He
Football
should be
League?
in just because he was one of the dirtiest players in the game.
Thank you. They was an
And you
intimidator.
appreciate that.
One
was
of the
part
first
of the game.
steroid abusers.
Yeah.
How about this one? The A-Train, Mike Allstott, who I wanted the Steelers to draft back in 1996.
I liked his running style.
How about The most intimidating offensive lineman in the history of the game is who?
Alan Faneca?
Conrad Dobler. Conrad Dobler should be in.
Another dirtiest player in
Here's
the game.
another one. Even Bill Cowher said he's the best linebacker to ever play the game. Clay Matthews, 1B. And number 1, the late, great Bill Fralick. And that's what's on my mind. Reverse discrimination. That ain't right.
How many were on your list?
10. Top 10.
That seemed like 13.
15. It was 15, but who's
Was it?
counting?
Okay, I lost
But,
track.
and then just if I can just interrupt one time, if you ask the question, well, how can Roman Gabriel not be in the Hall of Fame? Just look at his statistics.
Roman Gabriel was a superstar.
Can't even say his name. Come on.
Roman Gabriel was
That's
a
better.
superstar.
Look at his
Claudio
career statistics.
Rosano just interviewed him.
Well, that makes it
So
worth
he's still alive.
It's okay. Look at his career statistics.
Thank you, Smoking Jim Frazier. Chip Hayner,
What's on my
what's
mind?
on your mind?
What's on my mind? Well, welcome everybody and Happy New Year to everybody. It is great to be alive in 2020. And what's on my mind, even though we're probably going to focus more on football this evening than anything else, and that's fine. It's playoff time. College football playoffs coming up on Monday. But I experienced something about 10 days ago that I don't know why I haven't done it sooner. My
a
wife
great
bought
place.
me a pass for a private tour of the Roberto Clemente Museum. What a treasure we have in Lawrenceville, and if you have not been there, you must go. You got to make plans in advance and buy tickets for a guided tour. It is worth every dime that you spend. Roberto Clemente was just such an amazing person, let alone the fact that he was one of the greatest baseball players that
How
ever
about
played
the
the game.
memorabilia there?
The memorabilia there is second to none, and the stories that they have to tell you about Roberto. The tour took about an hour and a half, and I think it
worth
was
every minute
It's
of
worth every minute of it. I implore everybody, go support the Roberto Clemente Museum, and I have a new motto for this year. If you see, retire 21. I think a movement is in place and should
Look how nice that looks
pick
on
up,
TV.
pick up steam
look that good.
to retire the number 21 across Major League Baseball, the same way they did for Jackie Robinson, because regardless of what he says, Roberto Clemente did as much for Latin American players as Jackie Robinson did for African American players, and I think he should be recognized for his efforts. That's what's on my mind.
Can I say one thing before we go to elevator talking machine? You already retired one black. Roberto's black. You can't retire another one. 21.
Disclaimer, he's
Yes,
throwing
man.
the race card
You
out
guys can
straight
have
up.
Alex Rodriguez. We'll
No
keep
way.
Roberto Clemente.
You cannot throw shade at Roberto Clemente. It just can't
He's
happen.
black.
Let's move on. I'm going to skip myself right now, and we'll come back to me. That my special guest, Sam Cable. What's on your mind?
The playoffs.
You want to talk a little bit about the playoffs? Because we're going to talk football later. So if
Yes.
that's on your mind, put it out there. What's your thoughts on the playoffs?
this.
I think that the Chiefs will beat the Houston Texans.
Okay.
I'm
Yes!
with you.
Good call.
I'm with you on that.
Write this down.
Baltimore will beat Tennessee.
Yes!
Okay.
I think Green Bay will beat Seattle.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Ooh.
I'm with you so far.
I think San Francisco 49ers will beat the Vikings.
All right.
Wow.
And then once it gets to that, I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to lose against the Chiefs.
You
Okay,
do. The
good for
Chiefs
you.
with Mahomes are going to win it.
Yeah.
Wow, what a prediction.
And who's your prediction for the Super Bowl winner?
Chiefs.
Chiefs? Good call.
And how did you find all this information out?
Because I watch the games.
Do you? And what else do you watch during the week? I heard you watch ESPN a little bit.
I watch Good Morning Football.
Is that your
Okay.
favorite show?
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
It talks about football.
Yeah, there you go.
You get all that information, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's a good show. I've seen it a couple times. I don't watch it as many times as you do. You watch it every day.
Yeah.
Wow. Your dad and mom let you do that?
Yeah.
You know your dad's right here.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to move on. Thanks for what's on your mind. First time guest, Sam Cable. All right, what's on my mind? I don't really hate too many players or at all in football, but I'm tired of the Brady, just the whole charisma that he has and the people talking good and bad about him. This past year with no offense, people talked how he was done. I don't see at 42 too many people moving and throwing like he does.
Good point.
And if you noticed, he was throwing the ball away most of the time. So that's what I noticed. And he didn't have any receivers that could catch a ball. How many drops did they have per game? I mean, just look at that.
Well, you know what? Anybody that can quarterback a team to a 12-4 record, I don't think is washed up yet.
Well, I agree with you, and I know he has a hero like Joe Montana, and there's rumors that he'd like to leave New England. I don't believe he'll leave New England, and I don't care about Belichick and what he's done. Look, they just have a case against the Belichickers filming the Cincinnati Bengals.
Sideline.
And they won, what was it, one game? How could you do something like that?
No,
for
they
your
actually
upcoming
won
game?
two.
Did they win the
Yeah,
second
they
game?
beat Cleveland.
Okay, I forgot. I saw that on the screen, but I
You're the
was
division
ignoring it.
champs.
Well, you just reminded me about my co-host Smoking Jim. I got to put it on him. He was saying they have Super Bowl potential on paper, and they may win the division this year, and the year is over, and they didn't do too well, Smoking. And guess what? Their head coach, who you thought would lead them to a Super Bowl, he's no longer working with them.
A working period.
Yeah, right. He's out of the kitchen. It was too hot there for him.
Too much heat.
But that happens. But I'm about Brady coming back for another year, and he wanted to play till 45. I think he'll do it, and I think he'll be in New England. And that's what's on my mind.
Hey, can I ask you one question before we go to the
ahead.
commercial?
You could ask two.
Now that Antonio Brown is done with his rap album, you think he'll come back to New England? Because he said he only wants to play with Brady.
Well, the problem we have is the NFL is sort of blacklisting him because they have him in like purgatory.
He meant whitelisting them.
Yeah. They have him being investigated, so no team can touch him right now, and they did the publicity stunt with New Orleans.
Here's the only counterpoint
Those
I
are the
have.
facts.
Here's the only counterpoint I have to you saying that you feel Brady's going to be back.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that could weigh as whether or not Brady does come back. Josh McDaniels is going to be interviewed for the Cleveland Browns
I
job.
gotta agree with that.
And if he goes to Cleveland, I don't necessarily see Brady wanting to come back and break in a new offensive coordinator. He lost his receivers coach
Right.
because he got hired by the Giants. So, they're going to have to rebuild the whole offensive side of the coaching. And how is that going to work? So,
Well,
just something to consider.
Belichick's in control, and he does have good help over the years. It's notorious because look at all the people that are head coaches. Look at a former player beat him
At his own game.
with his own plays. So, I mean, that was great watching that, and I enjoyed it. I didn't revel in it, but I don't suffer Schadenfreude. And Smoking Jim, you can look that up in the dictionary. But we're going to move on, and we're going to come back with some fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac and a special little caveat with Sam Cable discussing football.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine, Chip Hayner, my man Sam, wearing that TJ Watt jersey. But fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanacs going all the way back to 1979. A lot of people forget 1979.
How old
The
were you
two
then?
best linebackers in the AFC was Jack Lambert of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who went to about 7 Pro Bowls at that time, and Rookie of the Year, Jimmy Haslett of the Buffalo Bills. Jimmy Haslett, they go out to Hawaii. It was still in Hawaii then. Jack Lambert been there about 7 years. He takes the rookie under his wing, teaches him a little bit, shows him the island. Night before the game, they stay out all night long till 5 in the morning, drinking, sipping, having a good time. They get back to the hotel because the game don't start till 1 o'clock.
Wow.
So Jim Haslett is heading back to his room, and Jack Lambert says, "Where you going, rookie?" He says, I'm asleep for a couple hours before the game. He says, the game starts at 1 o'clock. He says, I know it's 5 in the morning. He said, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. He says, we got to go to we got to go to the team breakfast and team meeting right now. So they go to team breakfast, team meeting. They go, it's a 5-hour difference between Hawaii and Pittsburgh. So
I've been there. I've been to Hawaii.
Jack Lambert starts the game. First play of the game, Jack Lambert happens to pull a hamstring. He comes out of the game. Jim Haslett got to go in and play the whole game because they only had 2 middle linebackers. And what a veteran move by Jack Lambert. I guess he was trying to get Jim Haslett back for stepping on Terry Bradshaw's head in a game here at Three River Stadium that I happened to be at. So that's the fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac. Jack Lambert, maybe the greatest middle linebacker in NFL history. He's right up there. And Jimmy Haslett, who's very underrated, who I think should be in the Hall of Fame. But that's what's on my mind.
We heard your list. We heard your discriminating list.
Jimmy's on there.
Thank you, Smoking Jim Frazier.
Yeah, Chips Trivia. Welcome back, everybody. And I just have to make one comment about something that Jim spoke to earlier. And yes, congratulations for Mike McCarthy getting hired by the Dallas Cowboys. And I only have 2 words that are going to describe his tenure in Dallas. Train wreck. Because Mike McCarthy isn't the head coach. Jerry Jones is. And when he realizes that he has no
Control.
Power to make any decisions on players, we'll see how long that marriage lasts. But coming up on the night before the Super Bowl, we had come down to the 15 finalists named for the 2020 class of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And Reggie Wayne and Troy Polamalu are among the 15 finalists for Pro Football's Hall of Fame in the modern-day 2020 class. The former Colts receiver and Steelers safety are joined by 5 others who have never been finalists before. Packers safety Leroy Butler, Rams receiver Torrey Holt, Panthers linebacker Sam Mills, Dolphins linebacker Zach Thomas,
Yes.
and 49ers defensive tackle Bryant Young. They are joined by the past finalists, Steve Atwater, Jaguars tackle Donnie Baselli, Isaac Bruce, guard Alan Faneca of Steelers fame, guard Steve Hutchinson, Edgerrin James, John Lynch, and Patriots and the Raiders defensive lineman Richard Seymour. Now, running down that list right there, I'd like your opinion, being the informed scout that you are, of those 15. Who do you think's going in?
Just name them. I'll tell you if they're in or out. Reggie Wayne out. He don't deserve it.
Troy.
Troy should get in because he's Samoan.
Okay. Oh, see, you're not prejudiced.
No,
because there's reverse discrimination
they wanna
too.
Get a Samoan
I think
in.
there's a movement to keep Korean Americans out of the Hall of Fame. Leroy Butler.
No, he ain't no Hall of Famer.
Okay. Torrey Holt.
Torrey Holt's going to get in. He got the numbers. He got.
Okay, so that's 2.
He got a big mouth.
Sam Mills.
Sam Mills got to get in.
Okay.
Great player.
That's 3.
The late great Sam.
Zach Thomas.
Zach Thomas should have been the first ballot Hall of Famer. You know that.
Okay, so you're saying 4 now. 49ers, Bryant Young.
No.
No. How about Steve Atwater?
Oh, he should be in. He's a great one, but I'm going to say no. Oh, I hate to pass up a hitter like that.
Tony Baselli.
Greatest left tackle to ever play the game.
Right.
His career was short, so he should be in.
Okay, Isaac Bruce.
Isaac Bruce, got to be one. Nah.
Alan Faneca.
Alan Faneca, no.
No.
Steve Hutchinson.
Steve Hutchinson, no.
The Edge. Edgerrin James.
Edgerrin James should have been in a long time ago.
John Lynch.
His gold teeth is keeping him out. John Lynch is one of the greatest strong safeties ever, and he's doing a great job as general manager. And he was a heck of a baseball player.
So
He's
that's
a
a yes.
professional baseball player.
Okay, and Richard Seymour.
No. For what?
Okay, so here's what the problem is.
Okay.
You've named 7 people
That's good.
that are going in. This year, only 5 of those 15 are making it into the Hall of Fame.
Why you say that?
Because for the first time, the Hall of Fame is also adding 10 senior candidates, 3 contributors, and 2 coaches. There will be a total of 20 people put into the Hall of Fame, so that's 15 right
Hope
there.
they ain't doing all that
so
the
there
same
are
night.
5 of those 15 finalists. They're going to make it into the Hall. So it'll be interesting to see how that falls. I think Troy should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and not just because I'm a homer, because Troy Polamalu, when he played, the defensive,
changed the game.
Whoever was game planning had to game plan for Troy. They had to account for where he was
I'd agree.
on every play. And I think he and Ed Reed are the 2 best safeties of the 2000s, bar none. Do you agree?
I use Head and Shoulders because of Troy. That's why he should get in. But statistically, it doesn't back up everything that you're saying. But okay,
you know what?
Okay. I love the way he played. He made a lot of splash plays. But statistically, 32 interceptions. Tony Shell had 51.
But he was. Okay. Were they playing the same position?
Yeah, strong safety.
Strong safety.
Yeah, same position.
All right. But, my trivia for this week
But
is
Donnie Shell wasn't Samoan.
who is going to make the Hall of Fame. We will find out February 1st. It'll be interesting to see, but I think there's going to be a lot of disappointed people. I still can't understand why Alan Faneca isn't in. I think he deserves to be in long before Tony Pacelli, because
Shouldn't have left Pittsburgh.
Alan Faneca had a longer career and played on championship caliber teams twice.
Shouldn't have left Pittsburgh. He'd have been a first ballot. Great player.
You
Love
could be
him.
right.
LSU.
We appreciate Smoking Jim and
But
all his
before we
negative
go to
opinions.
Before we go to what else are we celebrating February 1st, brother?
No, February.
Say it, L. the talking machine.
Smoking Jim talks about race all year long, and somehow he enjoys Black History Month. See you in February, Smoking Jim.
Yes.
I'll give you my Negro baseball book again.
28 days.
And I will be touching on that this month, the month of February.
I understand that. Well, we're not going to go to me right away, so hold the commercial. We're going to Sam Cable. And I'll kick it off with what I want you to talk about to start with, since we're in Pittsburgh. And what jersey are you wearing?
TJ Watt.
Yes!
Let's talk some Steelers. Who's your favorite players? Name one. Who's your best favorite player?
Troy Polamalu.
Whoa, you're going back in time. You don't care about the statistics that Smoking Jim's talking about. What about TJ Watt? Do you like him?
Yeah.
Who else do you like? Give me another good one.
Well, his brother, JJ Watt.
Yes!
He's not a Steeler.
It's okay. He gets an exemption.
We're talking some favorite players, right? Throughout the league.
Yeah.
Okay, so JJ can make it. Who else? Think deep into your Monday morning watching TV shows.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Big Ben. Who else?
All
Le'Veon Bell.
right!
Le'Veon Bell.
My man!
When he was a Steeler, maybe.
Yes!
Okay.
Great rapper, too.
No, he's a terrible rapper. I've listened to it. And Smoking Jim, in case you don't know, he's declared in public that he's a country music fan.
Love it. Can't get enough.
And I've never heard him listen to one country song in all of our road trips. But that's just a sidebar. Here we go. Favorite non-Steeler teams and players. Can you tell me that?
Yes.
Who are they?
Seattle.
Why do you like them?
'Cause
Who's their players? Name one.
Russell Wilson.
There you go. Good
That's a
job.
good one. That's a good one there. What other team?
New Orleans Saints.
Who's their quarterback?
Drew Brees.
How about another team? Do you have
Cost
another
me
one?
money this week.
You're looking around. You see anything? There's no cue cards here. This is unscripted, folks, except for Smoking Jim, what he wrote out on a book.
There's
there.
another on the Saints.
Who else?
Michael Thomas.
How can you not like him, right?
He's a
Best
beast.
receiver in the game.
One of the best,
That's
right?
playing.
Yeah.
He can catch everything, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's a good ball player. Do you have any other favorite teams, or was that it? What do you think?
I think Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
You know, when I was a little boy back in the 60s, I didn't even like the Steelers because they called them the SOS team, same old Steelers. You know what team was my favorite?
What?
The Green Bay Packers.
Oh, front runner.
I had to.
Lombardi's.
Put it like this, what Pittsburgh guy wouldn't like front-running teams? We're all front-runners
we
here.
all loved the Packers, and I hated the
Yeah.
Cowboys.
Oh,
and nothing's
definitely.
changed.
No, I'm traditional like that. All right, so we covered your
Nothing's
favorite
changed.
teams and players.
Yes.
What do we go to next?
Playing Madden.
Do you remember playing your dad in Madden?
Yes.
Who won?
I usually win sometimes. But
Did you ever win more than once?
yes, I win about 50.
50? You mean you played 100 times
About.
with your dad?
Yeah.
Is he any good?
Yeah.
Are
But
you
you're
any
better. Huh?
Yeah.
good? You beat him.
Yeah.
Is that the same as electric football? Or is that different?
It's a little different, Smoking.
It's
It's
The-
more
the
realistic.
team I usually win with is the New Orleans Saints.
Wow.
No wonder you like him. Who's your quarterback?
Drew Brees.
And does he throw a lot?
Yes.
He's a great passer, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's leading the whole league in yards passed and
Yeah.
TDs.
Yeah.
So he outperformed Peyton Manning. Did you like Peyton Manning at all?
No.
Okay. How about we go to your fantasy football
No,
season?
I don't know about that.
No fantasy football?
No.
All right, this is an open mic for you. What else would you like to talk about on football?
Gateway.
About the
Give me something.
Steelers'
What about
future
them?
offense.
What do you think about
Steelers.
the future? Because their offense was
I
terrible.
think Ben Roethlisberger.
Will he come back healthy and passing?
Yeah.
Ask him if he likes the duck. I
You
like
ask
the
him.
duck. You like the duck, Sam?
I liked him till he threw a lot of interceptions.
Well, I have a theory that the duck won't be back. I have this wild theory that the duck won't be back.
Let's bet a Snicker bar on that.
Okay, you got a bet on that.
I'll get in on that one. I'll make it 2 Snickers.
Anything else on football you want to put out there?
Nope.
Because I appreciate you coming on the Pittsburgh Sportsline tonight and talking to our fans out there. That's so great. Tell them how old you are.
7. Tomorrow's my birthday.
Oh,
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Sam.
You gonna be 8
Oh,
tomorrow?
Yeah.
Wow.
Good for you.
We snuck him in at 7 years old.
Oh,
Let me
my.
shake your hand. Way to go. Up
He's
high.
gonna turn 8 on the 8th.
Down low. Way to go.
Can you believe it? He'll turn 8 on the 8th. Can you believe that?
How did they even plan that? That's just unbelievable. You want to say hi to your brother?
Hello, Adam.
You want to say hi to your mother?
No.
You want to say hi to your dad?
Yeah, he's right there.
Well, you got to say hi to him.
Hi.
Well, I got to ask again because I'm friends with your mother. Won't you please say hi to your mother?
Hi. Baby.
Thanks for being on. Now we're going to come back with the Talking Machine on location. We'll be at Olive Oil's Pizzeria and more in Brookline from 7:30 to 8:30. We got guests lined up. I got Stout from Stout Academy coming. Warren Stout, the owner. You know, somehow it's named after him. We had a little dispute here because Smoking Jim didn't know that was his name. And we got Andy Anderson coming back, who invited us and had media passes for us. And Andy Anderson's a great guy. Been on the show a couple times.
Is Marissa coming?
She's supposed to be
Yes.
there, but you never gave me her number to call her or anything, so I don't know if that'll happen. So we'll see what happens. And we've got a couple other guests that haven't called me back to confirm on that, so I'll let you know what they are, and I'll post that up on our event page on Pittsburgh Sportsline. Judge Arnone and I are looking to do a fundraiser for the Kidney Foundation in Pittsburgh. I've talked to a couple ladies there. They're willing to come out and help us, and we'll donate money to the Kidney Foundation of Pittsburgh. And they're doing a lot of great things. I'd like to give you an update on myself. It's almost 120 days, in another couple days, it's 4 months since I got my kidney transplant. Had a great appointment today. My blood work is all great. My kidney is functioning at over 60%. They said that's very good. They told me, you're doing so well, we won't want to see you for 6 weeks. I've been going every 2 weeks and monthly. Now it's every 6 weeks.
The 60% that it's working at now, do they look for that to improve as time goes on?
Here's what the theory is. My son gave me a great kidney. That's my hero, greatest gift I ever received. With him having 2 kidneys, his functionality will be down to 70% with 1 kidney, and he shouldn't have trouble at all during his life. With me, I got 3 kidneys. 2 are only function at 15%. They don't take them out. They put a kidney in your stomach area, and they say it could get up to 70% also. So I could have some more improvement. For it to be over 60% at this hour, they said that's just great. Whatever you're doing, keep doing. So I let Smokin' Jim have a couple slices of pizza more than me, and I'm cutting back on some things, and it's working out great.
Now, because you've got the extra kidney in there, does that mean that you can fit less in your stomach?
Well, for the first 2 months it was, but now I've been able to eat normally. So my appetite came back.
Okay, good.
They just said, watch that. And
good.
Thank you for all the prayers and great wishes I've gotten from all my fans and friends out there, and these guys here supporting me, the studio, and everybody in Bethel Park. I do appreciate that, but we have a lot of great things happening, and I'm glad that it's worked out well for me and my son. Truly blessed, and it's worked out much better with our recovery than I could have imagined. I didn't know I would feel this better at 63 and a half years old. I got more energy. I didn't realize at 15% how it was sucking the life out of me, but wow. I feel much better now. And you know what a go-getter I was before, Smokin' Jim.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh no, we're unleashing an animal now.
I know, look out. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. And we usually go back to a commercial where we talk Steelers at the end of the show, because it is the end of the season. We wanted to wrap that up. Guys, we had a little fun off camera. Thanks again to Sam Cable and Dave Cable for letting his 7-year-old, soon-to-be 8-year-old son come on our show and talk with us. It was just a great time. I enjoyed the interview and his comments.
The young man knows his football. I'll say that much about him.
Yes, he does. And one good thing, he doesn't want to go to Gateway.
Oh, don't say that.
That's what he said leaving. He goes, no Gateway.
Yep, he said, go Blackhawks.
Yeah. But back to the Steelers season. When they were 8-5, and for the few weeks before that, I had said Tomlin should be Coach of the Year. After the Duck blew out at whatever he blew out, and they lost the last 3 games, Duck will be gone. Tomlin doesn't deserve that Coach of the Year.
No, and I think what Duck proved in the last 3 games of the year is that the people that didn't invite him to the Combine, and the people that did not draft him, or the people that did not pick him up off the waiver wire after the Steelers cut him in training camp, may have known what they were doing.
Yeah, the same people that didn't do it for Tony Romo and Warren Moon and Kurt Warner. Yeah, same guy, same scouting department.
And this is Smokin'
But you're talking
Jim.
about Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and you're talking about a guy that's never going to make it.
They had to all start at the same place. They all started at the same place.
Now, he proved beyond a reasonable doubt to me that he's not an NFL quarterback.
Well,
I don't think he has the arm strength to make the throws that he needs to make.
Did anybody blow him out? Nobody blew him out. And he won, 3 or 4 games? Or is he 4-3? He got a winning record.
Well, then they ought to just start chiseling his bust in bronze.
What's the boy in Dallas got? What kind of record he got
Hey,
this year?
Smokin' Jim.
That's-
What was Duck's final record?
4-3?
What would that translate to over a season?
Over in a season, that would be, 8-6? No, 9-7. About 9 and 7.
Where are you going with 9 and 7?
Well, same place that the guy that's going to get $36 million in Dallas, same place.
But that's your hero.
Well,
What's his name in Dallas? What's the
Dak
black
Prescott.
quarterback? Yeah, him.
Well, here's the interesting thing
He put you in the Mountain Duck.
is that Mike McCarthy couldn't win with Aaron Rodgers, who is arguably
They
the
beat
best
the Steelers for a
who
Super
was
Bowl.
10 years ago, who is arguably the best quarterback in football, okay, and he couldn't win with him. What's he going to do with Dak Prescott?
Wow.
Mike McCarthy's an offensive genius.
There could be some trouble.
If he was a genius, he wouldn't have been unemployed.
Well, if Ben had his choice between Mike Tomlin and Bruce Arians, he'd have chose Bruce Arians. That's what happened.
I think he would have
Aaron
chosen.
Rodgers chose the coach.
I think Ben would have chosen Coach Randy.
Yeah.
But no, and to kind of wrap up the Steelers season, it was a huge, it was a disappointment in one aspect because we
Huge.
always expect the Steelers to make the playoffs
Yeah.
and to vie for the division championship. With the amount of injuries that they had and the fact that they were starting a third-string quarterback that had no business being in the NFL, the Steelers coming out
Great
8-8, was great. Here are some of the things that I think the Steelers need to do. Now, it's obvious that the Steelers need to draft a running back in this spring's draft, maybe more than one.
With their second-round pick, why
But
not?
I think more importantly, what the Steelers need to do is they need to hire a quarterbacks coach,
Good point.
and they need to hire a wide receivers coach.
Yeah.
Because we saw a regression of Juju Smith-Schuster, and it was a tragedy beyond belief when the Steelers wide receivers coach died unexpectedly
He wasn't that
in
good.
training
He wasn't
camp.
that good
Well,
anymore.
you know what? The Steelers wide receivers were some of the best in the league over the last 10 years. So
He was only there. This was only his second year, so.
Well,
only
yeah,
his
but
second
what
year.
about his wide receivers last year? He had two guys that were over 1,000 yards. Juju and that other one, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, it slipped all our minds.
Yeah, the one that quit his day job to become a rapper. But I do think the Steelers need to hire a wide receivers coach. They need to bring in some more wide receivers. I think Deontay Johnson, had a very good rookie season.
Yeah, did a lot of fumbling.
There's room for improvement with him, but I can see potential in the young man. I think Juju Smith-Schuster is going to have a bounce back year next year, and if he's got somebody that consistently can throw him the ball. Now, I do think that Mason Rudolph, you say what you want, that kid is tough as nails.
Yeah.
The last game that he played, when he got sacked,
Yeah.
after his center went down and the new center came in, stepped on his foot. They said the injury that he suffered to his shoulder almost punctured his aorta. Okay? And he played for 4 more plays after that before they took him out of the game. So the kid is as tough as nails, and I think Mason Rudolph will be an adequate professional quarterback, great backup to Ben, and maybe a year or two down the road when Ben decides to hang it up, you could turn over the team to him.
Give him the keys to the car.
Do I think that he's going to be an all-pro league leader? Probably not. But is he going to be a serviceable enough quarterback? Yes. If they got a defense like the way the defense matured this year, he could win a lot of games.
Good point.
All he needs to be is a good game manager.
Yeah.
And I think what happened to him in Cleveland on Thursday night this year, I think that was a big learning
Well,
experience for him.
how do you recover from something like that too?
Well,
That's
I
tough to
think it was
recover from that.
it was a lot, and so it's happened. I hope he learns from it.
What are you talking about? How you can recover from what?
Oh, 'cause you look at
Getting
all the
hit in the
media
head with a
attention.
helmet?
Yeah, somebody telling calling you a racist
People
on
lying.
national
Shouldn't have
TV
said
when
it.
you're not.
He
Shouldn't
didn't
have
say
said
it.
How
Well,
do you know?
how do you-
I don't know.
His
It's
teammates
his
say he
word
didn't
against
say
the other
nothing.
guy's word. How they know? There was only
Well,
two
they
guys
were right there on the
no,
field.
there was a,
You're
he
not-
was on. He was on. The lineman was on top of him.
Yeah, his lineman.
Smoking Jim.
I'm not buying it.
That 90-inch screen only showed 2 people on
That's
it.
too.
And last I heard,
That is ridiculous.
last I heard, you couldn't read lips.
No. All right, Smoking Jim, what's your thoughts about what the Steelers need? Because you're always critical in the draft. This is your time to shine.
Well, again, a lot of things that Chip said was good on paper, but they were only a half a game better last year than they were this year with a Hall of Fame quarterback. What they need number one, they need Chip is right. They need a quarterback coach. Number two, they need an offensive line coach. He makes a big difference. I see it all along for years. The offensive line was overrated, but Mike Munchak, who was the offensive line guru, could make adjustments. There was no adjustments made. The teams were blitzing up the middle, around the edge. The linemen wasn't picking them up. The running backs wasn't picking them up. So you need an offensive line coach who can make adjustments. That'll help the offensive line. People say Villanueva, in my opinion, was another Pro Bowler this year. He only gave up 2 sacks this year, but he didn't get any help this year that made him look bad. But he's still one of the top left tackles in the game. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Chip.
How did that work out for Denver this year?
But we're not talking about Denver. We're talking about
we're talking
Pittsburgh.
about Mike Munchak.
But we're talking about
he walks on water,
the
and he turns bad offensive linemen into 5 All-Pros.
He how many all-pro linemen did the Steelers have under Mike Munchak?
How many did they have this year?
Huh?
They had 3 last year. They had 2 this year.
They had 2 this year, and you know
Without
they didn't
him.
deserve that.
Without him.
And the offensive, listen, with him, the Steelers had the best offense in football. Without him, they had the worst running offense and the worst passing offense. Do you like the offensive line coach who was a coffee boy? The Mike Munchak?
Hey, you know what?
Mike Munchak and
the
Rush
problems
Grimm.
with the Pittsburgh Steelers were not the offensive line.
Listen, Mike Munchak and Rush Grimm are considered 2 of the best offensive line coaches in the history of the game. You're saying a great coach don't make a difference?
He can make a difference,
Okay.
but the Steelers' problems were not the offensive line this year.
They didn't pick up blitz.
They didn't
how many quarterbacks
they
had to
didn't
get
have
hurt?
a number 1 running back.
All the
they didn't have
quarterbacks-
a number 2 running back.
True.
They had rookies running.
They
didn't have a number 1 receiver. They didn't have a number 2 receiver.
Was Connor all pro with Mike Munchak?
Well,
James
how
Conner?
many games did he play? 4?
Was he all pro with Mike Munchak? They all get hurt because nobody was blocking. All quarterbacks got hurt except for the Duck because he suffered at everybody.
But when James Conner got hurt, when Mike Munchak was coaching the Steelers, that was not his fault, right?
That wasn't Munchak's fault.
Okay, but now that he's gone, it's because he's gone. I just want to make sure I get it straight. Hey, guys, I just want to tell everybody something. I love Jim like a brother, and I love going back and forth with him. I do. I respect him, but I don't necessarily always agree with him. And
Well, the nice
we are
thing
friends.
about this, we're all friends. First show of 2020 started out with a bang.
Yeah, we got.
And I didn't agree with you early in the season when you said Coach Tomlin should be coach of the
and
year.
you know what?
He's a joke of the year.
But that's the reason why you
let me
wait
give
till
him
the end of the year.
credit. Let me give Coach Tomlin
credit.
credit. Coach Tomlin went to Cleveland to get a cornerback. He went to Kansas City to get a cornerback, and he went to Miami to get a safety. Okay. The only weak link in their secondary is the guy they drafted, Terrell Edmonds. So Coach Tomlin and Kevin Colbert need to maybe go to another team and get them a strong safety. Edmonds played the same position Troy Polamalu plays.
Do you understand?
Same position Troy Polamalu plays. Does he look like Troy here?
The environment that exists in the NFL today goes to 32 teams, and on 32 teams you're going to see starters that were picked up off of as free agents from other teams or in trades. So the Steelers are finally getting along just like everybody else in the league, because if it works, then that's
Can I ask
something
you one
you should do.
question? I like that. I like it because it did work. Can I ask you one question? Why is Artie Burns still on the team? The same reason he's on the team is the same reason they kept Jarvis Too Slow Jones, because hard-hitted Tomlin, who's a friend of mine, won't admit when they make a mistake.
No.
Won't you agree they made a mistake with Jarvis Too Slow Jones?
No,
is there a mistake with Artie Burns?
That's
a yes?
You said one question, right?
Double yes.
Okay, so you said one question, and you threw 15 at me, okay? And just like your top 10 list, right?
I talk like I talk in the movies.
Why is Artie Burns on the team? Because he's under contract, and he's going to count against the salary cap anyhow. Yeah. And if they need a new warm body in an emergency situation, he's there. Can you count on him? No. Will he be re-signed? No. But that is. And you go through 32 coaches in the NFL, and every single coach has number 1 draft picks that they failed on. But, of course, because Mike Tomlin makes the pick and it didn't work. It's much
It's
much
his
worse.
fault.
Kevin Colbert
No,
too.
you're
'cause
right.
They
It's his
never,
fault.
they never say
You know,
who does the pick.
so
but I'll say this.
here's
Can I
what-
say one thing?
No.
because you say 15 things when you
Just
say
one thing.
You can't count.
My the guy that we all love, Tom Donahue used to say, you get them good or you get them gone. And that's the difference. Donahue used to get rid of those guys.
And that's why the Chin got rid of him.
He couldn't.
Chin didn't need him. The Chin didn't need
The
him.
Chin didn't need him. And the Chin
And
isn't
can I ask
getting
you
in.
one question?
He's not getting in.
because I'm not sure. Can I ask you one question?
Sure.
The question is, who was the only Pittsburgh Steelers coach to ever win NFL Head Coach of the Year? Give it to me.
Cowher.
Give it to
Yeah,
me.
and you know what?
Power.
Wait, but here's the caveat to that. He won with Chuck Noll's players.
Great point.
That is true. That is true. That is true.
That's history here.
That is true.
But
Smoking
hey,
Jim, let me ask him another
Go ahead.
question since he likes
yeah,
to stir it
yeah,
up.
because we're in a one question.
Bud
and finesse.
Dupree,
Loving.
hold it. I didn't get my question.
Okay.
It took 5 years to play pretty good where he got noticed by everybody in the league. What do you do with him?
You franchise. Number one, the Steelers, like Chip said, is up against the salary cap probably. So you franchise him. You know, you pay him the big salary, and you hope you can work out a deal.
He made
but
$9 million this year.
No, it's probably going to make about 15 with a franchise tag.
Yeah.
Whatever, by any means necessary. Listen, this is a hard-working guy. This is a guy that came from Kentucky. Everybody knows it. Unless you play basketball, you go to Kentucky, you're a little soft. You go there because don't nobody else want you.
Unless you're
And
DeMonte Dawson.
DeMonte Dawson was a great one, but he only went in the second round. But now the
That's
guy
not bad.
came here, and they made, because Jarvis Too Slow Jones, they made him play left outside linebacker. So when he barely learned that, they moved him to right outside linebacker. But he's a hard worker. He works with the boxing community. This guy is 6'4", 270 pounds, with a 4.5 40 speed, and he's a great compliment to T.J. Watt. T.J. Watts gets double teamed, and Dupree is on the same side with Hayward, so he got a free reign.
So here's some of the problems that the
11
Steelers
and a half
gonna have.
sacks.
They're going to
Okay.
have to sign T.J. Watt. You know he's going to get a max contract.
Oh,
Got to,
There's
got
no
to,
question.
got to.
Okay, that goes without saying. They're going to have to pay Bud Dupree. Okay, even if they franchise him, even if they can find a way of extending them.
I'm seeing the
Let me
shadow
ask you,
of
is
Woodley.
Watt up this year,
I'm seeing
or has he got
Woodley's
another
shadow.
year?
Well, Watt's. I think this is Watt's third year.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
so he's got next year, and then he's got, because he's a first-round pick,
So-
they have the option for a fifth.
Okay.
But I think I expect them to sign him for big money before then, because what they
Okay.
can do
Yeah.
is they can defer money against the salary cap
Whatever they need.
by
They're good at it.
extending him out, and
they're good at
and
it.
Kahn is good at that.
Yeah.
Kahn is good at that. So the Steelers are going to have to. They're going to have to pay some money. So, where is all that money going to come? How's it going to fit into the salary cap? They've got some interesting moves that are going to be made this
Get
year.
rid of Ben and put Duck in there. You save $34 million.
Yeah, you know what? No.
I'm better than Kahn. I'm better than Kahn. I saved you $34 million.
No, because even if Ben
No,
does
it
not
would
play,
still cost them.
no, even if Ben does not play one snap, it's costing the Steelers $25 million against the cap. next
Really?
year.
Yeah.
$25 million. So if you're going to be shelling out $25 million if he don't play, I'd get rid of the Duck and hope that Ben gets better.
Well, on that happy note, I think we're winding down to the end of the show here. And I want to thank everybody for watching our show. We appreciate you. Thanks for Jay in the control room there. This is Al Levine, the Talking Machine, with Chip Hayner, Smoking Jim Frazier. Happy New Year. Watch us again next Tuesday, and Monday night, come out to Olive Oil's Pizzeria.
Go Titans.
Please stay Joey strong.